Another element that shows up in all of these is the white rooster, which is connected to the ancestors as far as divination is concerned, but also just symbols of connection to those gone on. And so the white rooster sits on Dr. Milton Curry's head because he was the president who made all of this happen, who was responsible for this cultural oasis, as I call it in my piece, Black and Blue, Cultural Oasis on the Hills. He was responsible for all of that happening. He believed very seriously that a well-educated student had to have the arts as a part of their curriculum. So the white rooster appears with him in white. That's a sort of a ghost image, but also a connection to the ancestors, that white color.
Senator, you were talking about Milton Curry. He was a Renaissance man. Mm-hmm. The second time I came in, Curry sent for me. He said, I noticed I've looked at your resume and I know what you can do with library and archives and that kind of stuff and the galleries and all that stuff. He said, but I want to know, what are you going to do for this community when you come here? He said, Bishop has got much more from this community than is given back. Mm-hmm. And so I came here with that in mind. Mm-hmm. What can we do to give back to this community, energize this community? And if you look at the history of the museum, when everybody else thought I was crazy, Milton Curry stood with me.
Mm-hmm. My last experience with him was when I brought in Elio Pomara, and that was during the 70s, where Elio had been run out of several universities because of his interracial dance that he had, his interracial company, and the men and women stand together, and in the 70s and all of that, and that radical that he had in his repertoire with his dance. But I wanted, Dallas to experience that because he was the thing. The NEA was giving him money, but they were talking about it, And so I brought him to Bishop. He had this one dance on this motorcycle, and he got up on the stage in the chapel, and he was going, ooh, ooh, ooh. He had on nothing but a dance belt, You could see his little cheeks as he would go back and forth like that. The place was just full. I mean, we had community people, everybody, the auditorium was just full. And I said, oh my God, I am so glad President Curry's out of town, because I knew he was going to be out of town that weekend. Looked around, President Curry was standing in the door. He came in, I'm back at the door, and he said, Ms. Williams, you really got the people in here. I mean, this is what we want. Look at, he was looking at people in the audience. We really got this is what we want. And Elio was going, ooh, 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 and he was painted himself and just sweating and going on. President Curry said, Ms. Williams, it is so amazing. I just knew that was my job. He said, how they can make those leotards and tights to look just like your skin, isn't it? I said, they sure can, President Curry, they sure can.
But back to the community. This community has always supported us because they knew Curry was behind this stuff. He was out in the community and he would make commitments on the college's part and come back and make us implement. Those of us who were like-minded and knew where he wanted to go with this. And he made, and the people knew that in the community. And I think that helped me tremendously when I was trying to get some things done. It was because of that commitment.
The only other thing I want to say about that too is that because Dallas Black Dance Theater, while we were doing all of those other things, and I was teaching dance classes in health and physical education, the students that didn't want to take the volleyball and the softball and gymnastics and all of that, they were coming over for dance. And he was so instrumental in helping me build a dance studio and build it like it should be, should be built. And was so supportive of me bringing in artists. And I would always try to send things up to his office because I never knew when he was going to be in, and you never knew when he was going to drop in, so you kind of always had to be prepared.
We talk a lot about Dr. Curry. Mrs. Curry played a major role in this institution, and she had a lot to do with how the women on campus carried themselves, how they dressed. We could not go without stockings, okay? I mean, so the little things like that, the whole etiquette piece and all of that, she played a major role. Polished it. She polished it. Yes.
But another thing, Mrs. Curry was supportive too. When we would have recitals and performances, and we'd bring in these out-of-town artists, and after that we'd have receptions, she would play. Remember, she would play. So it was that type. I would say she was just as broad-minded and as open-minded and culturally oriented, community-related as he was. So it was a good partnership, and I think that's where he found most of his solace, is that he got it from her, because she was right there. And I never will forget some of the, I would say, the team work that the two of them did with supporting you in the library and supporting me with Dallas Black Dance Theater. And I miss those good old days.